Simping ain't easy. 12 Steps to Embracing Common Sense and Rejecting Stupidity. Simping ain't easy is a journey in accountability regarding life and living life on life's terms. Every decision made and in every situation, one finds themselves and ultimately leads back to the person in the mirror. This book is the process in which our author took absolute responsibility for his life and changed his trajectory for the better. About the author. Vincent Gervasi wore many hats in his life: son, brother, soldier, student, employee, employer, consultant, uncle, and husband. The bedrock of all of his life's success is taking ownership of his life and taking responsibility for his successes as well as his failures. Vincent currently lives in a comfortable home in Northern California with his 2 Labrador dogs. Many of his passions include psychology, philosophy, and the human condition. Bonus chapter: Technology is a wonderful thing. During the course of this writing, OpenAI made public ChatGPT. To summarize, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence platform that basically is smarter than you, or me, for that matter. So in toying with the technology, I had ChatGPT draft a 12-step program for simping. It was modeled after the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, a program that has helped millions of humans all over the world get control of their addictions. Who knows? This could go somewhere, or it could fall flat. Either way, spiritual principles are powerful tools that can help you out of that hole you dug yourself into. Simping recovery. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over simping and the results that transpired because of our simping and that our lives had become unmanageable. The first step toward recovery is admitting that one has a problem with simping and that it is causing problems in their lives. This concept can also be applied to broken relationships. Admitting that there is a problem in the relationship and taking responsibility for one's actions is the first step toward healing and moving forward. When a relationship ends, it is easy to place blame on the other person and refuse to take responsibility for one's own actions and emotions. However, true healing and growth can only come from taking an honest look at oneself and acknowledging one's role in the relationship's demise. This can be a difficult and painful process, but it is an essential part of moving on and finding happiness. When a relationship ends, it can be a very emotional and stressful time. People often experience a wide range of feelings, such as sadness, anger, and hurt. During this time, it can be easy to place blame on the other person for the problems in the relationship or to see oneself as the victim. This type of thinking can be comforting in the short term, as it allows individuals to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and emotions. However, it is not a constructive approach to healing and can ultimately prevent one from moving on and finding happiness. True healing and growth can only come from taking an honest look at oneself and acknowledging one's role in the relationship's demise. This means being honest with oneself about one's actions, emotions, and behaviors and how they contributed to the problems in the relationship. It also involves taking responsibility for one's mistakes and understanding that you are not a passive victim in the relationship's demise. This process can be difficult and painful, as it requires one to confront difficult truths about oneself. It is easier to avoid this process, or to try blaming the other person for everything, but true healing can only come from acknowledging one's role in the relationship and taking responsibility for one's actions. It's also important to note that it's not always one person's fault that the relationship ended. It could be the result of different circumstances, issues, and incompatibilities in the couple. This acknowledgement not only allows one to learn from their mistakes and grow as a person, but also helps to ease feelings of guilt, shame, or resentment toward the other person, which can be barriers to move on. By taking ownership of one's role in the relationship, individuals can begin the process of moving forward and finding happiness. One should find happiness in the process of healing, not just as an end goal. Engaging in self-reflection and introspection, seeking therapy or counseling, and focusing on personal growth can bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment during what can be a difficult and lonely time. It can also help one to become a better and more self-aware partner in future relationships. Personal growth is an essential aspect of life that can bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment during difficult and lonely times. The process of personal growth involves taking stock of oneself, identifying areas for improvement and working toward becoming the best version of oneself. Through this process, individuals can gain a sense of direction and purpose in their lives, which can be especially important during challenging times. One of the main benefits of focusing on personal growth is that it can provide individuals with a sense of agency and control in their lives. When faced with difficult and lonely times, it can make one feel as though one has no control over their circumstances. However, by focusing on personal growth, individuals can take control of their own lives and work toward becoming the person they want to be. This can be empowering and can help to mitigate feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. Additionally, personal growth can lead to the development of new skills and abilities. When individuals work toward becoming the best versions of themselves, they may find that they have the opportunity to learn new things and take on new challenges. This can be extremely fulfilling and can provide individuals with a sense of purpose and direction. Furthermore, new skills and abilities can open up new opportunities and possibilities, which can help to mitigate feelings of loneliness and isolation. Personal growth can also lead to the development of deeper and more meaningful relationships. As individuals work toward becoming the best versions of themselves, they may find that they are better able to connect with others. They may also find that they are more authentic and truer to themselves, which can lead to more meaningful and satisfying relationships. Additionally, it's important to understand that in some cases, a relationship may be toxic or destructive with no happiness within it. It is important to understand that not all relationships are healthy or positive. In some cases, a relationship may be toxic or destructive, and true happiness within it may not be possible. These relationships can cause emotional and mental harm, and it may be necessary to end the relationship in order to ensure one's well-being and happiness. A toxic or destructive relationship can take many forms. It may come in the form of verbal or physical abuse, manipulation, or a lack of mutual respect and trust. In such a relationship, one may be constantly walking on eggshells or may feel constantly demeaned or belittled. These feelings can result in a lack of self-worth and self-esteem and can negatively impact mental health. Furthermore, a toxic relationship may also affect one's physical well-being. Chronic stress, which can come from being in a toxic relationship, is linked to a host of physical health issues, such as heart disease and diabetes. In some cases, individuals may try to make the relationship work by making excuses for the other person's behavior or downplaying the negative aspects of the relationship. It is important to note that leaving a toxic relationship can be difficult, especially if one has feelings for the other person or if the relationship has been long-term. However, it is important to remember that in toxic or destructive relationships, the well-being and happiness of an individual are most important. It may be helpful to reach out for support from friends, family, or professionals such as therapists to help navigate this process. In conclusion, acknowledging one's role in a broken relationship and taking responsibility for one's actions is the first step toward healing. Finding happiness in the process of personal growth and self-reflection can bring purpose and fulfillment during a difficult time. It is crucial for both parties to take responsibility to understand the part they played and to learn and grow from the experience to build a better future relationship.